Novel set in 1832 during a voyage from Liverpool, England to Providence, Rhode Island. The protagonist, Charlotte, is a 13-year-old girl returning home to live with her family after being in a boarding school for most of her life. The ship she boards is a cargo ship, and it only has 2 passengers other than Charlotte, and they don't show up. First day on board, a sailor named Zachariah warns Charlotte about the cruelty of their captain, and tells her stories about how he cut off the arm of his former first mate. Zachariah also tells Charlotte about the possibility of a crew revolt against the captain, and gives her a knife. Charlotte thinks that the captain's a nice guy and thinks that Zachariah is lying, but she keeps the knife anyway.
Here, thanks.
Charlotte has second thoughts about keeping it though, so she decides to show it to the captain when they have tea the next day. When the captain asks who gave it to her, she panics and says it was the man that brought her luggage onto the ship. But the captain also warned Charlotte about a revolt and says that she should keep it just in case for protection. He also tells Charlotte to let him know if she sees any signs of mutiny among the crew.
They're gonna kill you! Thanks!
Later, Charlotte tells the captain about something that Zachariah said, but when the captain beats him to death for it, Charlotte realizes that the captain might not be as nice as she thinks. When the crew members toss Zachariah's body into the ocean, Charlotte thinks that she should join the crew to bring justice to the captain for what he did to Zachariah.
This is definitely a dead body.
The captain becomes bitter about Charlotte's plan to join the crew and decides to make it a lot harder for her by not allowing her to sleep in her cabin and instead making her sleep with the crew in a hammock. After a storm one night, everyone wakes up to find the first mate murdered. The captain accuses Charlotte of the crime and sends her to the brig. That's the ship jail.
Jail.
While she was down there, Charlotte discovers that Zachariah is actually alive, and the hammock that was thrown into the ocean that contained his body was actually a hoax. The next day, a trial was held for Charlotte, and she was found guilty based on faulty logic, and she was sentenced to death by hanging. The crew knew she didn't do it, but they didn't speak up for her because they wanted to protect Zachariah, who they knew was alive, but they suspected of killing the first mate. That night, Charlotte found that Zachariah did not kill him, but after brainstorming a little bit, they discovered that the captain might have killed him. They try to stage another mutiny, but the second mate rats them out. In the end, the captain falls into the water due to the swaying boat. Oh, right, you're not supposed to put tinfoil in the mic.
That was totally an accident. Wait, take a picture of me.
The book is initially set up as if it's Charlotte's journal from her time on the ship, but at the end of the book, her actual journal was burned by her father, so judging by her words that she references in the section, the adult Charlotte would probably be in her 50s. This gives Charlotte perspective on the event she's narrating. For example, as the second mutiny is about to go underway, she writes, "It's odd perhaps, but I was not frightened. I assumed that we could succeed without a plan. Oh, what power of faith and justice I had then." Her use of the word then implies that she is writing this later than her journey on the ship. As this section demonstrates, the adult Charlotte clearly has a different attitude than her naive younger self.